So we are moving on now to Q and R. It says create a pivot table. Now this is another topic I wanted to do with your pivot tables. What a pivot table is basically a table that summarizes in another very large table, and it does not just does it summarizes it, it creates calculations based on that table. Like it finds the sum of different categories of data. So it creates a pivot table from the rental info worksheet to show the total rental paid for the three categories. So it's going to place each car in a category, and it's going to find the totals for each cars. So this is what we use. A pivot table is what we use if we have very, very large amounts of data and we need to categorize the data by different labels and find totals for them. Now, when I come back to school, we'll be doing some examples in it. It's a very simple pivot table that you have to create for the SBA. They said place the pivot table in a new sheet and rename the sheet pivot table. We are using our rental info worksheet. So this is what we're going to do. We go back. We are in our rental info worksheet. If you look down here, we go to the insert tab. In our insert tab to the left hand side, you'll see pivot table. So you click on it and you click from table or range, right? And we are going to do our table. We're going to select the table, right? Click enter, and we're putting it in a new worksheet. So we click new worksheet here, and we click OK. So if you pay attention, we selected our table that we are creating the pivot table from. We are clicking on new worksheet and then click OK. Now it's going to create the new worksheet down at the bottom here. So what I would advise you to do is just keep your finger down on the worksheet and drag it down to the end so it moves it all the way to the end. It's said to name it pivot table, so I'm just going to rename it one time. Rename pivot table. Right, so let's focus on this now. So over here we have a little dialog box that gives us the names of all of our fields in our table, our rental info table. This is where it's going to create the pivot table for you in this area here. And if we pay attention to what it says here, so it wants the total rental paid for the three categories of cars. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to click car model, because that's the category of cars. So if you watch here, you'll see Camry, Corolla, Yaris comes up. And we are not using total rental, we're using new total rental. When you click on it, it automatically goes down to where you see this sign. The sign is called a sigma sign. It represents sum of. So sum of the new total rental. So what it does is that it gives us the categories of cars. So the first category is Camry. It added up how much rental fees in total we'll be paying for Camrys. Corollas, how much rental total we'll be paying for Corollas. Yaris, same thing, right? So this is our pivot table. That is Q, and R says insert a row at the top of the worksheet and type in category and rental fee pivot table. Copy, merge and center the heading across the pivot table. Use an appropriate font style and size for the title wrap text if the complete title cannot be displayed in the merge cells. So we go back here. I'm gonna just paste it here. I'm gonna take the word table and put it at the end, and then I am going to go across this way, merge and center. I will bold. I can make this entire thing a little bit bigger, just so that everybody can see, right? And this is your pivot table. Delete blank here. That was because I selected this blank area here, which I should not have, right? So what I could do, all right, don't worry about that. So only select up till where you have information, which is up to here, right? Do not select the blank area at the bottom, right? So this is what it's supposed to look like without the blank. I'm gonna hide this so you all will not see, right? And this is what it's supposed to look like. Now, if you click outside of this table, this dialog box will disappear, right? And that's fine. Once you have everything that is needed to be in here, where you have the three different cars and the amounts. And that is it for, I think it's Q and R.